This is Chronicle on WCVB Channel 5.
A working mom with a worrisome diagnosis.
A malformation of the blood vessels in your brain.
A college student struck at school.
My head started pounding and I couldn't really see.
Both dealing with a rare condition.
It's an arteriovenous malformation, otherwise known as an AVM.
For Leanne, it meant building back her life.
She couldn't walk. She couldn't talk.
For Vanessa, it meant living with risk.
Death, paralysis, memory loss, stroke.
Or taking a bold step.
The decision became mine.
The choice of her life. Next on Chronicle.
We had the perfect life. Beautiful home, beautiful family, healthy children, successful careers.
Vanessa Garza had it all until
every time I picked up the baby or bent over to put a baby in a car seat, I was hearing some strange sounds in my ears that just weren't right. And so that's when I realized it's time to see a doctor.
In addition to the sounds, she had hearing loss. Her doctor could not identify the cause, so an MRI was ordered.
So we went for the MRI. I got an email, actually. The email said, the MRI has identified a malformation of the blood vessels in your brain. This is a bit out of my scope, so let's have you talk to your primary care doctor and then come up with a plan. And by the time I Googled, I had already heard from my primary care physician to stay off the internet. This could potentially be something quite serious. I was a completely healthy, working professional mom, and now I was facing something that required me to see the head of neurosurgery at the top Boston hospital. I could not wrap my head around what they were telling me. Am I going to be okay? Am I going to die? I could not comprehend that.
September 2007. Leanne Palladino was thriving as a freshman at Elms College.
I loved it. I was just getting into the swing of things. I wanted to be a speech therapist. I just wanted to help people.
Just 1 month into the semester, Leanne's mother, Susan, answered a frantic call from her daughter.
She was crying hysterically, and she kept saying, I can't. And I'm like, you can't what? She just kept saying, I can't. I kept asking her, questions, and then she hung up on me.
At that point, my head started pounding, and I couldn't really see. It was like going in and out of black.
I said, I'm gonna hang up, I'm gonna call the school, I think you need help.
Leanne was rushed to a local hospital.
They immediately had a surgeon come out and talk to me and tell me that she had some type of bleed in her brain. As we're talking, we're wheeling her down to the operating room, and at some point they looked in her eyes and seen something and just said, we gotta go. I was just hoping she was gonna wake up.
Doctors quickly operated on 18-year-old Leanne to reduce the pressure on her brain. They thought she had experienced a small bleed, but days later at Children's Hospital, an MRI revealed the problem was much bigger. It was an arteriovenous malformation, otherwise known as an AVM. Vanessa Garza was also diagnosed with a brain AVM, but hers had not ruptured. More on her story later. AVMs are rare, occurring in less than 1% of the population. They can go undetected, never causing a problem, or can cause headaches, speech, or vision problems. Worst case scenario, they rupture, resulting in permanent paralysis, even death.
Leanne is a very typical case, and it's really why these problems are so scary.
Leanne needed another surgery, this time at Boston Children's Hospital with Dr. Edward Smith.
She ultimately was found to have this blood vessel malformation. The fancy name is an AVM, or arteriovenous malformation. It's a little tangle of blood vessels that people have from birth, and they never know they have it. This is a picture of her brain right here. If you look at this carefully, you can see a little lump right here that looks like a little apple with some funny blood vessels around it. It looks different from the rest of the tree. This is a big weak spot in a blood vessel, kind of like a balloon or a water balloon that's being swollen. There's blood going into it and a little tangle of blood vessels around it that ultimately lead to this hemorrhaging and bleeding. With Leanne, what happened is the blood vessel in this AVM got enough pressure behind it that it leaked, and she suffered a lot of bleeding in a very short time and went into a coma.
A stroke, a coma, another surgery. These were difficult words for the Palladino family.
They said she needed surgery, but that they really couldn't explain to me in detail. I looked it up and I said, oh my God, not too many people survive when it gets to the point where it was. So it was very frightening.
On the scans, Dr. Smith saw the risks of Leanne's surgery.
And you can see on this side of the brain there's a big white area, and that's where she had the bleeding and the stroke. And unfortunately, this is the part of the brain that was very involved in language and also with movement of the right side of the body.
A delicate surgery lasting more than 10 hours. Dr. Smith and his team worked to seal off and remove the AVM. Dr. Smith walked out of surgery with hopeful news. He successfully removed the AVM. Leanne would live, but would she be the same?
It's incredible, and now surgeons at Children's Hospital can do sort of a dry run of this surgery?
Exactly. Using X-rays and MRI results, they are able to create a 3D mock-up of the brain with the AVM, and surgeons can now practice removing that AVM from this mock-up. And Anthony, I held it in my hand. It was pretty incredible, to say the least.
The work they do is always incredible. Vanessa was prescribed patience.
We watch it and we cross our fingers and hope that it doesn't rupture.
But could she live with the uncertainty?